Okay, so today's topic, we will need to check how to prepare building foundation and some parts on this topic. Okay, so in the verify area, I can move milestone, week number 7, and Kanban technique. And for week number 7, we have 12 actions, and we should start this part to do. Okay, this one done. Okay, so all works should go to the start position, and let's jump back to the scope. Okay, so this week you should also upload EFC and Revit files and put more details on all the site plan components, and now regarding all these foundation and other elements. Waiting, I cannot hear you from the microphone, so maybe you can activate your...
Can you see it now?
Yep, yep. So you have nice results, and yeah, so you should upload each time your progress to our platform.
I just wanted to ask that I have zones and I have really complex shape of my building.
Yeah, it's very complex, yeah.
And I don't know how to make that parts. And every level is unique, I can say.
Whoa, okay, you made a lot of problem for yourself. Okay, so can you, okay, so we can discuss this option. Yes. Before discussing, what are the problems on uploading files? Do you need additional knowledge how to do it? And
No.
it's okay. So try to catch up and try to upload your progress each time. It, like I mentioned, it doesn't matter if you have any results. You just drag and drop the files. That's all each week. Okay. So regarding your problems, so you mentioned it's difficult to model some parts.
Yes, I don't know how to make that different on each level. So
what do you mean? The wall should be different, or?
yes, for example, if we look here, I have that cut, but I want to make it, and it's like a little bit out of grid. How to cut mass? I mean, I don't know.
So you made it from masses, yes? Also, you can use, if you go to massing and site, to the tool massing and site, you can use several techniques. You can use FormIt integration, and you can do all these modifications in FormIt, or you can use in-place mass, so you can create all these mass shapes unique. If you, now I see you using boxes, so for unique shapes you can click on in-place mass. Try to do it right now. Let's click OK. And you can create any shape.
Okay.
So it depends from your drawing experience. Yeah, you just draw any shape in any format of your building, and after. So let's try to draw a simple object on the side of your inside building, but on the empty space outside of the building. Yeah. And just yeah, something like that. Yeah, great. Click escape. Select, click on this shape. Yes. Now in the menu you can see create form. Click on this object, create form on the top right side, right side, right side.
Sorry.
Yeah, this one. And you should jump in 3D model. In 3D model, yeah. So it's cropped. Okay, so you can click finish mass and remove scope box. Click finish mass, yeah. And regarding all the zones and rooms, as I mentioned, when you have all the walls, it's simple to create it. So for this lab number 1, it's the task just create representation maybe of one room or just one mass of the building, like big box, and that's all.
So it's not obligated to do exactly like I planned to, right?
Let's start from simple tasks, and later we can make them more complex. Now you jumped to complicated things, and yeah, so it's stopping you from moving to the next step. So first, let's train how to use tools with simple objects, simple shapes, and later, if we have time, we can improve. And later, I will, let's say, provide grading for your task, and you will see if it's okay. If not, you can modify, update, and so on. So remove in 3D, remove the section box, turn off the section box in 3D. Turn off section box in properties. Go to 3D view, 3D view. Now on the properties, move mouse to the properties and turn off check mark from the section box. Apply. Yeah, and you go back to the 3D. You see your boxes here, and you can use these triangles to change the shape. Try to do it now. Yeah, you see you can create any shape you want.
Thank you.
So this tool, you can go around your building and create one big shape for your building. Or you can create several shapes because I saw your building is from, let's say, two or three different blocks, like big blocks. Yeah. Now let's try to integrate FormIt. So let's go to massing and site and try to click FormIt integration. Go to massing and site. Yeah, now click 3D sketch. Launch FormIt all with selected object. Yep, this one. So it will grab the object you have on your, which you selected. It will open the FormIt application, and in FormIt you can try to simulate and do additional things. Okay, so I see FormIt is starting. Yeah, and you see the same shape is here. So now just select drawing tools of box. Inside drawing tools, use the primitive, go to the left side and select primitive objects. The box tool. No. Yeah, like this one, and just put some boxes on sides of your model. Yeah, you have this model. Of course, you should change dimensions to meters because now I see you are in inches. Go to settings and yeah, units, up, units, meters or millimeters. And delete this box. Just select again the box tool, click delete, and just select the box tool, and just go on and move mouse cursor on the shape you imported from Revit.
Sorry, I cannot hear.
Move mouse cursor to the object you imported from Revit here, and just click. Yeah, and you can put yeah. And now you created two objects, and let's go back. Go in the top menu, and in the top menu you see Revit symbol. No, in FormIt. In FormIt. Go back in FormIt.
Oh, sorry.
In FormIt, on the top menu, you see Revit symbol. Go right to the right side. Yeah. You can put the name, let's say, and click Сохранить. Now you should go back to Revit and you see your shape updated. Yeah. You see these objects are now inside Revit. So using this technique, it's easy to make shapes or modify your Revit mass objects and so on.
Okay, thank you.
So any additional issues, problems which you're struggling?
No.
Okay. So thank you for your comments. So let's see how to do the main walls, outside walls, and how to create foundations in our building. So I will try to continue on our project. So now I used the glass symbol and isolated category of mass objects, and I will repeat the same steps which I did in, I think, last lecture to create needed floors, roof, and other components. So for first, I will select mass objects and create mass floors, and I just go and select architecture elements, and I see the big mess here because I think last time I changed something and didn't save maybe my progress. So now I will just select everything. Mass floors. Okay. And I think I am not viewing the mass floors because they are hidden. So now I can see the mass floors are visible in my project. So I will make select the scope box and will use selection box and select only my building. Now we'll use scope box and create the section, move the section part. And for scope boxes, I will hide all the category. So I have clean view. And now I created all the floors. So now I have structure and architecture floors. So I need just to select the structure floors. So now I can activate the tool from massing inside floors. And I will just click on the bottom on the ground floor. So I choose the floor type for my ground floor. So in this case, I will use this floor. So this is if I go to edit types, view properties. So now I see 3 layers of insulation, concrete layer, and some finish layer for my floors on the ground. So if I go to structure, in the structure of the floors, I can see I have thermal insulation, 3 layers, 300 millimeters, concrete layer, 18, and wood finish. Maybe for parking, I don't need wood finish. Maybe I need special resin or special concrete finish. So in your case, you can change it. And I can click OK. And now I have all these settings prepared, so I can click OK, and I can select my ground floor, which goes on earth, and click create floor, and it creates nice floor here. Now I can jump and create additional floors. So I click floor tool, and I should select the floors which goes on other levels. So in this case, I will use floor tool. So this one represents the bearing part in which we put the slabs. This is a finish layer for plaster, and all the top layer represents architecture layers. So if I click structure, so in structure I can see function finish. So in this case I have plaster layer, structure, it will be concrete layer, 200 millimeters, substrate, thermal layer, membrane layer, substrate, and finish. So all this construction goes in other floors. So I just select the architecture floor and just go through all the levels and select architecture part. And on the top I will have roof, so I don't need the floors. So I can click create floors. And the program creates nicely floors here. So if I temporarily hide my mass object, hide category. So now I have nice floors here. My ground floor in this case is on the bottom floor, okay, but in this case I have two objects in the same place, so it means my building pad should go down. So using tab I select building pad and move building pad by -400, and the building pad is below my floor, and now I have nice floor here. So now I create floors, I can restore the hidden objects, and now I can create, let's say, roof. So from the list I select the roof. So the roof is translated. This one, Vilnius Tech, represents the company who is designing. Rockwool represents the company who is the main insulation layer. SS represents flat roof. 425 represents thickness of flat roof. 0.20 represents the thermal resistance coefficient, and other numbers is special numbers which links the data to Rockwool database. So if I select this roof and go inside the roof and click the link here, I can open the Rockwool page. In this page you can find all the objects and elements from this company. So let's try to connect to this page. Okay, I need to change default programs. Default programs, and let's change it. So in this case, I need to change it to Edge browser. For emails, I can leave Outlook, and For PDF, change default apps by type. So for PDF viewer, I like to use Edge browser. It's simple, easy, quick. So now program scans all file types in my machine and will show what programs are assigned to each file. So I go and select PDF file, look for PDF file. PDF file, Acrobat Reader, so I will change it to PDX and PDF. I will change it to Microsoft Edge browser. Okay, now I will click the link. So to get access to Rockwool, you need to create your account here. So let's connect. And in here, I can change the language. In this case, let's change to English. English. And I think it automatically scans my location and just assigns Lithuanian. Okay, so in any case, in here I can find all the installation materials, and if I click on installation material, I can download Revit files for this installation material and all the Revit files for all the catalog of Rockwool. And if I go back to home area and select building elements, in here I can see building elements. So for pitched roof, flat roof representation, also I can translate to English. And yeah, so ventilated facades, not ventilated facades, walls on the ground, also floors on the ground, and so on. So in any of these images, I can click here, and now I can select thermal resistance value, which is needed for my project. So let's say I need this one, so the thickness of insulation material will be 33 centimeters maybe, and I can click open. And in here I have in the bottom part Revit family, which has all the needed components included and I will have all the layers inside this Revit family, all the materials, all layers, everything is set up and I can use in my project. So when you open this Revit file, you just copy paste or use transfer project standards option, and you can move data from one file to another. So it's nice option if for the project to have nice structure and nicely filled up with all the description and all the comments. Okay, so for the roof, I will use this one, select the roof, create the roof. Now for the walls, for the basement walls or car parking walls, I will use foundation walls, and for other parts, I will use other elements. Now to nicely organize all the information, I click View, select Visibility Graphics, repeat, select all, turn off all objects, and now I need mass objects and I need walls, and also I need to leave only curtain walls. So I will active curtain walls here. So now I have a nice clean view, and now I will create needed modifications. Before jumping to all these modifications, I should go to the floor plan of my building and do additional checking if my mass object is nicely created. So now for foundation walls, I will jump to this layer. So in this case, I will rename this one to -60. And I will jump to this plan. So to create this plan, I will need to click floor plans, select template floor plans, and select this level and click OK. And this new floor plan was created, and I just go to the plan. So now it's coordination plan. So I should change maybe it to architecture plan, floor wall column plan, or I will use it just for work in progress. So I type work in progress. No. And I will turn off the assigned view template. And in this case, I will change the discipline from coordination to architecture. I will turn off phase filter and no phase filters here. And in here, I will go to visibility graphics and change settings. I will turn off all imported DVG and FormIt files. And I will turn on all annotation categories. And for model categories, I will turn off all elements and I will turn on mass and walls. Mass and walls. Now, if I zoom in, I can see my mass object is located here. So I will select detail level medium, and I would like to see colors. So my mass object, in this case, let's change it and move mass so it touches the grid lines. I can constrain my mass object to the grid lines. Now my mass is fixed, and now I can create walls around my mass object. Now I go and select architecture walls, and in here I go and look for foundation wall. So foundation wall is this one, wall foundation wall. And to continue the foundation wall, I need to select tools in the green zone. So I select pick faces. My level will be -6 meters, and my wall should go up, and my top level will be 0, 0 level. So I should check it out, 0, 0 level. And let's select this level. So my core, my center line of my wall should be selected core center line. Yes, joint status allowed. Now on the mass object, I can just click tab and it selects all the sides, and I click OK, and my walls are created. Now in my structure plan, so I see my wall is created, and my axis line, if I isolate object, so my axis line represents with this bubble. So if I change axis line of my wall, so the bubble is changing position from this location. So in this case, this location is selected. Now this wall type is just from one layer. If I select this wall, so it's just structure wall, one layer, only concrete, 200 millimeters. So it means it's easy to assign the location line to the core boundary because no other lines are in this location. No other layers. And very important part in the, let's change to thin lines. If I select wall, these two lines represent external part of the wall. So always check if your wall external part is outside of the building. If your location is like that, you should click on it and you should change. If your wall is not in the correct position. Now for the foundation wall, I need also to put insulation. So insulation I can put by changing the layer structure of main wall, or I can add additional wall, which will represent my insulation layer. I will show you how to do just adding additional wall. So now to change structure of the wall, it's important to select correct location line. If I select finish face interior and I will change and select insulation for foundation walls, my insulation is nicely placed and I don't have any gaps here. Now, if I do opposite way and I select my location line is exterior and I change wall type to different. So here you can see I have a gap and both walls are not connected. So it's important to have correct location line so you can get nice clean results. So for my facade wall finish layer, I will use finish face interior. So now my wall nicely connects to my bearing wall. For the bearing part, concrete part, I will choose this one option. Now I turn on all the elements, and let's say for this wall, I would like to make all these layers inside this wall. So I can click Edit Type, and I can make duplication, so it will be version 2. And in here, I can click Insert, move layer up, change thermal insulation, insert, and change finish layer. So for finish, I will put 10 millimeters. For insulation, let's say 300 millimeters. And I can choose the material for my insulation part. Insulation. So from here, based on my thickness, I can choose what insulation layer I should use. So in here I have insulation. Also, I should look to the thermal resistance coefficient, and in this case, the thickness of the insulation. So in my case, let's try to use this one. Of course, each type of material should be checked out if it's acceptable for walls, foundation walls, and other objects. So in here you can click URL code and open instruction page, and in here you can see for what kind of types this insulation is used. And in here we can see this maybe can be used for insulating maybe foundation part. No, it's for upper part, so it means for it cannot be maybe foundation wall. So in this case, maybe I chose wrong material. So in this case, I need to check out and select different material. But for this example, I just will select this one. So it means 300 millimeters are the same here, 300 millimeters. And for plastering, I will select plaster. So gypsum plastering, and let's put gypsum plastering here and click OK. Apply. OK, OK. And now you can see my wall structure changed. If I select wrong location line, so all this part will go inside my building, and I can damage my let's say, project later. I need to fix it. So let's say if your facade wall, I will turn off this building part. So let's say my facade wall, my location of face of facade is not correct. And if I select wall, so all the insulation material goes inside of the building. So this is wrong. And if I use coarse representation, it looks nice, everything works nice. But if I put more details and I see the wall is in wrong position. So I need to go and fix all the elements. Now in foundation layer, I need to put columns. So for column part, I can choose structure columns or architecture columns. So in any case, we first put structure columns because all architecture nice features and nice modifications goes on the structure part of element. So in any case, in the building site, first we build structure columns and later we put beautiful art pieces on top of structure element. If you get architecture columns from architect, you can replace them with structure columns, but normally in Revit practice, everybody is using structure columns in most cases. So let's select architecture structure column. So now let's change, my column should go up and my column should go till, let's say, 0 level. And also column goes up, vertical column. I would like to put columns at grids. I would like to put tags on my columns. And what I will do, I will just select all the grid lines and nothing happening. So it means my columns is not selected in my my category area. So I put the check mark on columns, click OK, and try to repeat the same step. Select all the grid lines which I need, and here you can see automatically columns are placed in all cross section of the grids, and I can click finish, and here is my columns placed in my project. So if I go to structure columns and move section box down, here are my columns located in my building. So I don't need mass objects and I can see all my columns inside my project. In here, maybe I have too much columns, so I can delete some. And now I need to put foundations. So if we go to the program, to the plenary, so I need to put wall foundations, column foundations, and for column, maybe pile foundations with pile cap, depends. So I created retaining walls, so walls for earth walls, for parking part, and now I can put foundations. So for foundation part, I also should turn on visibility of foundations. I go to visibility graphics and select structure foundations, this category, structure foundations, click OK. And now I go to structure tool and select walls and just click tab tool, and it selects all perimeter walls and click finish. And here I have foundations below my walls. Now, how to put foundations below my columns. So I repeat the same task. So I go to isolated foundations. I select my level for my foundations. I click, I would like to place foundations at columns. Now I just move my cursor, select all the columns, and it nicely shows in which position my foundations will be placed. I click finish, and foundations are placed below my columns. Let's say I would like to have foundation with more piles, with pile cap and so on. So I go to Insert, Load Autodesk Family, select English, and in this case, UK, United Kingdom. In the category, I go to Foundation, Structural Foundation, Structure Foundation. And in here, I look for foundations with the piles. So it has the pile cap and the piles. So let's say I want to put maybe 4 piles below my foundation and click load. And now I can just select all instances. And from here, I go to the Properties tab and select replace all my foundations with piled foundations and the pile cap foundations. And here I have nice foundations for all my elements. Also, I can put foundations below my pile foundations below my wall, but in this case, it's more manual task. So you just select isolate foundations. I select pile. I go to this location and put foundation here. And now if I go here, I should see one foundation bit which is located here. So it means I can place foundations below my walls also. And of course, I should double check if my foundation is below the wall. So it seems like that. I can use selection box and crop and double check if everything is according to the project. And here I can see my foundation pile is in the middle of bearing part of the wall. If I need, I can change foundation size. So in this case, I just duplicate and I change the diameter. Let's say 300 millimeters. I made the duplication, so diameter 300. Radius automatically recalculated, so diameter is 300. So in this case, I need to update all the parameters here, and I click apply, click OK, click OK, and my pile foundation change diameter. And if I want to put this this foundation along my wall, so I can select the foundation. I can click array tool, and I can say let's place it along my plane. Before that, I need to maybe change the plane. Plane is okay. So maybe I need to look from the top and click array tool. Structural elements will be detached from grids due to inconsistent group membership. Okay. And just type maybe 2 meters between my piles and 10 piles I would like to place. And now I have nice wall with pile foundations. Normal practice in Lithuania, we have pile foundations below the walls, and for columns we have foundations like this one. Also, you can insert if you're, let's say, want to create foundations which is not monolithical, but you want to create foundations which looks more like this one, sleeve foundations. So you can click load, and you can replace foundations with more like this one. So your column foundation will look like this one. So it depends from your project task and project teacher. So I showed you practically main options, how you can do it. And also for the staircases, you should use additional foundation. So it means you should create foundation slab for this task. And in this case, I select the level minus 6,000. Let's say this one. And in staircase location, I create foundation slab, and this will represent foundation for my stairs. Now let's turn off section box, and here I have a nice foundation slab, foundations for the columns, foundations for the walls. And the next part in foundation, how to make the drawing. So additional comments on the drawing. Also, based on Planary, we have a level of detail is 100. So in this case, you can do sketch of foundations. So it means you create additional view, drafting view, foundations, click OK. Turn off drafting view template, click none, and change scale maybe to 150, and go to annotates, and you can draw your building. Let's say I have excavation pit like this one. I create the slopes, and in here I would like to place my building. So it means I would like to place my walls. So this will be my building walls, my floors, and my foundations. So I can create a cap for my foundations. I can create foundation piles for my walls, or I can create just a simple block for my walls. And also insulation on my wall. So I can just draw by text and add text comments. Let's see, here is insulation. This is bearing wall, structural bearing wall. And schematically, you can draw this schematic representation of your building. And for this step, I think it's enough. You can do like that. But from examples you showed today, I see your progress is much further, and you practically have all the building. So in your case, you just need to check out all the settings and fix the errors. So it means you need to update foundations, you need to update wall structure, and all wall structure should be based on the manufacturer recommendations. So it means I go to Rockwool or I go to another manufacturer. Let's say one of manufacturers popular in Lithuania. So they provide insulation material for all foundations and other parts. And here we can see how everything works. So application, basement walls, and foundations. So let's select basement walls, and here are nice images how it looks on the basement walls and foundations. So all instructions how to do it, and also we have nice drawings, CAD drawings or Revit families for your insulation. I'm not sure, maybe in English language we don't have, so let's jump back to Lithuanian. And from here you can see BIM library, so BIM objects, and you can download BIM families from here. Also, if you also can jump in CAD families, CAD BIM library, and you can download CAD files for your wall. And you can download these instructions. And in here you have all the layers, so it means you need to take all the data from manufacturers who are presenting materials. So for foundation, so insulation for foundation, plastering, bearing walls and other parts. If you create all the things by yourself, you can make mistakes because it's important to follow real details, real construction elements, and how it should be implemented in your project. So here we have column foundation, and special pinch wall around your building with insulation material and so on. So practically all of the manufacturers have similar drawings, and you should follow all the instructions from their pages. Now regarding foundation plan, so we should jump to foundation plan. Architecture plans, structure plans, foundation plan. So in foundation plan, I have only the materials for foundation plan. So in this case, I need to update my drawing and maybe change settings. Okay. So in here, I see materials which will be needed for my foundations. And let's change to A1 size drawing. And in this case, I will put my foundation plan, which I created. So for foundation plan, I should jump to the structure discipline and look for foundation plan here. So I have one foundation plan, but I think the level of this foundation plan is wrong. So maybe I need to create additional one. So in this case, I should go to view, floor plans, structure plan, select structure plans, select the layer which I am using for my foundations. Click OK. This should open and show it here. And now structure plans, I turn off the template if I don't have template for foundations, and click none and click OK. And in here I just go and select elements which I want to see. So in my case, I want to see walls, I want to see a structural foundation, and I want to see maybe columns. And I just so main objects, and I click OK. Now to see other elements, I need to edit view range. So view range looks okay, minus 100 or minus 500, minus 1 meter. And now I have nicely I see all the piles and dashed lines and so on. Also, I should turn off phase filter if I have such one. And in here I have foundation wall, and I need to see the walls. So columns are visible here. And also I need to see walls. Walls, okay. So I don't see walls because walls are not structural elements. And I need to go to my 3D model and do the modification. So it means you can see what will happen. So I select all the walls around my building and put the check mark on structure. And in the location, I click bearing and apply. And now I can see all the walls inside my building. So now it's difficult to separate foundation part wall from, so it means in foundation plan you should show only the concrete part for foundation plan, and all these installations should be in simple structure plan or architecture plan. So in this case, if you have a wall with all the layers, so you mean you need to use different technique to hide all these layers in foundation plan. So like I mentioned, in foundation plan, only the concrete part should be represented. And if you have foundation wall from separate parts, like in here, so this part represents architecture part, this part represents structure part. So in this case, I don't see any additional wall elements here. So to eliminate all these architecture components, so I recommend to use a tool which is called create parts. So in this case, wall is divided into part objects, and it's now not visible in my project. So it means I need to go to visibility graphics, and select my category parts. Okay, so parts is active. And why I cannot see them? Show parts, show original, and show parts. Okay, in this view also, let's try to activate show only the parts, show parts. Okay, so parts are visible here. So it means parts, it means I can select each element separately. And for the parts, ability graphics, parts is active. Filters. Okay, so I see I have a lot of filters here. So in my case, I need to turn off filters. And now I see the parts. So I used filters to filter out the structure and non-structure parts. In our case, you can do by hiding parts manually, or you can use and filter it out. So it means if I go back to filters, so in here, construction finish on off. So if I select on off and wall structure material on off, and you can see construction finish is off, and I have a nice filtered part which represents only the structure part of the wall. And also I can do part creation on this wall, and I can go through all the walls and do the part. And now I have a nice foundation plan. So now foundation plan is done. I select the scope box for main building. It nicely crops all the parts. And now I can go to foundation plan in my sheets. Foundation plan. And in this plan, I can place the foundation plan. So I go to structure plans and move foundation plan to this location. Okay, so I see scale 1 to 50 is too big, so I change it 1 to 100, and now my foundation plan looks much better. I change the name and put the name in the middle of the view. And the name on the sheet should be, so title on the sheet, I should place, so in here I can write foundation plan. No, I don't want to change level. And in title on the sheet should be foundation plan. I click apply, and now I have nice view number 1, foundation plan, scale 1 to 100. And in here I have all the materials for my foundation plan. I can optimize the size of these tables and do some modification and organization part on my drawing. So it would be nice if I just put all the shadows nicely connected to the side of my drawing, like this one, and it looks like continuous drawing which goes from the side. And here I have all the materials, concrete, and in here I should organize materials, so I have only basic materials and only English version without Lithuanian one. And here I have the legend, and in the legend I have explanation how the foundation elements looks like, and also I have the notes which explains additional components. And here's foundation plan. So next time we will jump in here and we can put additional components like dimensions and other components for foundation plan. So let's save the progress and let's see if any other component should be created. Okay, so title block, text notes, tags, shadows, legends, dimensions. So we have shadows, legends, dimensions, tags, text annotation, title blocks. Okay, so we have a little bit time, so let's jump and add some dimensions. Annotate, align dimensions, and I just grab and first I need to connect all the objects to the grid lines, so I know the exact location and how they are attached to all the network of my building, to the coordinate system of my building. Next, I need to show the size of the object and do the same for practically all the foundations. So I can have all the detailed information. Because one foundation can have a little bit different configuration, and if you don't put dimensions, it will mislead the team who will do implementation part, the builders. So I just go and put nicely all the dimensions around foundation, attach it to the grid lines. All objects in construction drawings should be attached to the grid lines, so I know the position, and all the other dimensions show the size of object. Also, I can create additional views in which I show more specific data about my foundation, so maybe it will be done in other lectures. And the distance from object to the dimension line should be approximately about 10 millimeters. So depending on the scale, so the scale is 1 to 100. So if I use measurement tool, modify measure tool, and I measure the distance here, so I have 600 millimeters. So my foundation, my dimension should be in this position. So something like here. And if I try one more time, about 10 millimeters from the object. So if your scale is, let's say 1 to 200, so it can be complicated. So in this case, you need to change the scale to 100 or 150 to organize all the nice dimensions. Now regarding the foundation wall, so in this case, I also should first connect it to the grid line. If the dimension is not fitting between dimension lines, so I need to move dimension number outside, and the dimension should have background, and also this this line on which the dimension is placed, and also the thickness of the wall. So connecting and the thickness of the wall. Also, I have foundation here. So the same logic, I connect it to the grid line. If the number is too large and not fitting between dimension lines, I move it. If it fits, I can leave it here. And sometimes it can be raised with this leader, or I can just move it on the side, and also the thickness of this part. And the same dimensions goes around and around. Next dimensions, we should go to all the buildings. So we should put dimensions between grid lines. So in all the views between grid lines. Next dimension shows distance from the far object and to the other far object. And in this case, maybe I need to change the scope box because I see my box is a little bit outside. So in this case, I need to go to a 3D model and check the scope box because scope box is giving some issues, and check from the top if my scope box is grabbing all the foundations. So, and should extend the scope box around my building. Now my dimension was hidden because my one of the lines was outside, and now I can just move and put dimension. So it shows the distance to the far side of objects, and the last one shows all the size of the object. And normally Revit should grab and snap the distance. Now I think the distance between all these dimension lines should be approximately 10 millimeters. So 10 millimeters, and all the grid lines should go outside and should move and leave this gap between dimension line and the bubble. So the distance here we have about 5 millimeters. Because our scale is 100, so the distance here is 500. So divide the 500, and it's approximately 5 millimeters on the drawing. And if we have a section line should always go outside the bubbles. And if some objects are crossing each other, we can use this symbol to move object a little bit to the side and to organize everything so all the parts of the drawing is nicely readable and no parts are hidden. So in ideal situation, all can be managed, but sometimes it's complicated depending on the drawing size and so on. So here I showed you the levels of dimensions for all the drawings, and also if you have any openings inside your walls, other parts, so you need to put additional dimension line which shows some specific openings. So if I put, let's say, doors inside my parking, let's see, some doors here, and now I need to change it to show original part. And if I place the doors here, So now you can see additional opening was created. And in this case, I need to create additional line for these openings. And from the object, I move 10 millimeters, and other dimension is moving, and so on. I need to move it. And in this case, I can have a lot of levels, and one of dimensions was deleted because my structure was changed, and I just need to recreate the dimension. And now my dimensions have additional level, which explains in which location I have the opening. And the same you should repeat on other side. If sides are similar, so it's enough to put dimensions on one side. If the sides are different, so it means the same dimensions goes on all the sides. Of course, the total dimension of the building can be placed on one side because on the other side it practically will be the same. So in this case, you need to think always about dimensions and organize all dimensions. And you should put not too much, not too less, not too little dimensions. So it means it should be enough to understand how to build the building. So you can think about IKEA, or you can think about Lego. And if you buy the furniture from IKEA, so you should understand how to assemble all the parts. So in the building drawings and building documentation, you should put all the information so the person who will build the building can understand all the data and can create real objects from your drawings. Okay, so let's save the progress, and don't forget to upload your progress files each week. And if you moved with your projects to the next steps, so just follow my tips and fix existing mistakes and update your models to make nice representation of all the elements. And remember, if you are continuing your project on your template, so use project transfer standards and transfer template elements like dimension styles, line styles, and copy paste the schedules to your projects. Of course, we need to change some naming to English part. I think we can find some examples inside our drawings. Okay, so for now that's all, and till next time.